And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second day of the Innovation and Progress in Person-Centered Pain Management Symposium, hosted by the Alliance to Advance Comprehensive Integrative Pain Management, or AACIPM. I'm Kevin Galloway. I'm joined on our virtual podium this morning by Amy Goldstein, the Director of AACIPM. Amy and I would like to thank everyone for participating in the symposium. Yesterday was incredible. We heard from a very diverse group of leaders describing how their organizations and how they are personally working to advance the understanding and access to comprehensive integrative pain management. Next slide. We had 16 excellent presenters, over 600 unique attendees coming in and out throughout the day. Heard a lot of examples of partnerships and innovation and progress. We are making a difference. Some very interesting information on alternate payment models, measuring outcomes. All of the panels represented multi-stakeholder engagement. And as expected, there was some information on the impact of COVID and mitigation strategies that people are already undertaking. And finally, a theme for the afternoon was certainly groups working to have the courage to do what's best, both for the patient and the community. And if you weren't with us yesterday, if this is the first day you're joining us, those presentations will be available, recordings online in the near future. We have a strong set of panels coming up later today, so we look forward to this. Next slide. We'll start off certainly by thanking the David and Laura Lovell Foundation for providing primary support for the AACIPM initiative, a paradigm shift to advance comprehensive integrated pain management. And also thanks to our fiscal sponsor, the pain community. Next slide. This doesn't happen without our symposium sponsors. Again, these organizations are demonstrating their commitment to SIPM through their tangible support for events like this. And so we couldn't have done it without them. So we appreciate their input, and that represents the diversity of this effort. Next slide. We talked a little yesterday about what makes AACIPM special. It's a collaborative representing this wide variety of stakeholders interested in advancing quality and effective pain care. What is unique about us is the acknowledgement by all of these different groups represented on the slide that they're all more effective working together than going it alone. Our stakeholder collaborative is working on solutions that are truly comprehensive, integrative, and person-centered. It's a big table, it's complex work, but it's essential that we provide a place for these groups to work together in order to harmonize their efforts, their messages, and their resources. Next slide. These are the registrants for the symposium, and I think they represent our stakeholder groups. About half of you identified yourself as being healthcare providers or integrated providers. Then we had a large group of staff from healthcare provider organizations, followed by a group of educators, payers, and most importantly, persons that are living with pain. Next slide. So we're going to continue, I think, meeting the objectives that we laid out for the symposium very effectively. We're highlighting these examples of innovations, and yesterday was certainly had a lot of examples of that. We want to provoke thought discussion across the stakeholder groups, both in the chat rooms and then following this event. We want to continue this after today. We're definitely into coalescing our stakeholders around common understanding of the evidence. We have a lot of work to do there, but these discussions and interaction that happens at tables like this are what makes this possible moving out in the future, specifically with integrative pain management treatments. And then finally, we're very interested in building that robust repository of resources that are accessible to anybody interested in taking on this challenge. And we'll be gathering everything from this symposium that we learn and anything people want to share with us in the future and adding that to the repository. Next slide. Amy?
Thank you, Kevin. And welcome everyone again. I know we have a number of folks on and more joining us throughout the day. Some of you were here yesterday, and I think some of you may be new, and I just want to again warmly welcome all of you, and it's wonderful to see so many people interested in this topic because of course we are. So before I jump into what you see on the screen, Kevin just finished sharing some of the important stakeholders and sponsors that have made this possible. And again, I can't move on without thanking the small and mighty team behind the scenes that has worked really hard to change this. And it's just really exciting. I just have to say, we're all, after yesterday, we took a deep breath, and we moved this from an in-person meeting that was expecting 100 people to, within a month, a symposium that got over 900 registrations, 45 panelists over 2 days, and more details than I thought could be possible. And it really has been a labor of love and passion. And it's just really an honor and a privilege for me to work with so many people who are doing this. And I just want to quickly name Carolyn Noel, Maggie Buckley, Alyssa Westrel, Cindy Leyland, and Steph New for all the work put into making this happen. And thank you all for being a part of that. Sorry, not next slide yet. I apologize, go back, thank you. So for just quick refresh, we are using the Q&A and chat feature today. Some of you were used to that. We had great engagement, and please keep it up. Again, I mentioned this a few times. Please don't feel frustrated if your question doesn't get answered today. We know that there is not a lot of time and there's a lot of attendees. We are very intentional about collecting the questions and getting them answered, and we will share those with you. This really is a resource and a shared resource among all of us. So please use the Q&A feature, and we will do the best we can to manage that throughout the day. The chat feature is something you can use if you have a troubleshooting question, and you'll also see information from us coming out to you to help augment some of the information throughout the day, just to make your experience hopefully feel a little more complete. Next slide, please. This is very important. This was a common question yesterday. So I know we don't have everyone on yet, so we will mention this again and again, but all of the symposium materials you can find at this link that's seen on your screen, /symposium-materials. The full agenda, sponsors, evidence grid, which I'll mention in 1 second, presenter bios, slides, the link to the post-meeting feedback survey, which is very important, and more, the recordings, etc., as they're ready. So please remember that's there, and we will remind you throughout the day. The post-meeting feedback survey is really so important, and I hope all of you will participate. I know it's hard to get a lot of feedback on a survey in terms of a lot of people choose not to answer, but please do remember that's how we'll hear from you, because we want to know what you think. This is not a small group doing this for themselves, but it is a large collective doing it for the greater good. Next slide, please. Quick mention, in that list I just shared is an evidence grid. Please take a peek at that, and it explains exactly what it is. I'm not going to take the time now, but it's something that we have a full white paper and evidence grid coming later, and this is a sneak peek, and this information will inform some of the discussions that will be discussed later today in a couple of the panels. Next slide, please. Social media, thank you for all of you who mentioned, used the hashtag, followed, liked, tweeted. Again, let's keep the momentum. This is a culture change we are trying to be a part of, and this meeting so far has really encouraged and validated for me. Every day I'm validated by speaking with so many of you and being encouraged by the coalescence that really needs to happen among so many diverse points of view and stakeholders. And this is another really tangible way we can keep the momentum, share it, grow it. So we hope you'll consider hopping into the social media conversation. Next slide. And just a last mention before we introduce the first session, planning your breaks. This first bullet is just a little incorrect. Just if you're paying attention, there are 5 to 10 minute breaks between the first 2 sessions. The final 2 sessions, we do not have a break because we want to allow it to be seamless and then let everybody go for the day. So please be comfortable. We want everyone to grab your water, your healthy snacks, or as my kids reminded me, why'd you say healthy, Mom? Everyone might not want healthy snacks, so grab whatever you want to make you feel good. Get comfortable, join us. We're really excited to have you here and looking forward to a fantastic day.